Now, the movers and shakers of the tech world have descended on Barcelona for the Mobile World Congress. Wearable technology is dominating the event this year. But cheap smartphones are also on the rise, with a $25 model in the works that aims to open up the market to the developing world. Well, the BBC's LJ Rich has been testing out that smartphone at the event in Barcelona.
They've actually let me hold on to this, take it off their stands and show you back in London. This is $25. Now, let me say, this isn't even a prototype, this is a reference model. And the idea is to get people in the developing world getting online and starting using smartphones instead of feature phones. And what's interesting about this is the memory in this is a quarter of the memory in Nokia's Android phone. That's another device that's also aimed squarely at the developing market. So we can see a lot of people who are skipping the generation of desktop computing, even laptops, and going straight to mobile. This has got 2 SIM slots in it as well. So, and it's actually going to let people get onto things like Twitter and Facebook and do emails pretty much from anywhere. It's a really interesting part of the market now, the developing world. People are going crazy for it here.
Going crazy for it in Barcelona. We're going crazy in the global studio for Samantha Barry, our social media guru and general wise owl. Welcome. So what else is there in there that we should be looking at? So wearable technology, but we've heard that before. Is there new stuff that we're seeing?
I think wearable technology definitely for the Western market, the developed market, but this $25 smartphone is huge for the developing market. If you think about, there's 6 billion phones around the world. Only 1.1 billion of them are internet enabled. So that's nearly 5 billion people that are still using feature phones. It's going to be a very limited...
When you say a feature phone, you mean a phone that just does phone calls?
That's it. For a lot of people in developing countries, that's a huge technology leap. If you give them $25 smartphones, the leap in the technology that they do with just that smartphone, it's not going to be the high-end device. It's not going to be the Apple or the Samsung. It's going to work off a 2.5G mobile network, which is really common in developing countries. But it's going to give them access to the internet and mobile smartphones, and it's basically going to be the personal computer in their pocket, which is huge. I
think we've got a picture of a monk with a smartphone, which we're going to bring up on the screen. We did have. It's coming. There it is.
So I was in Myanmar last week, and I was there in 2012. Hardly any Burmese people had phones. They all have smartphones now. This monk had never visited Yangon. He was in his 60s. And
great photo, by the way, of the two of you.
The first thing that he did when he got to the city was buy a cheap Chinese smartphone. Not to even put a SIM card in it, because SIM cards are still quite expensive in Burma, but to get online. And that was a huge deal for this monk. And
hang on, just tell me what you were doing in Myanmar. Were you looking at kind of social media and the potential?
Looking at social media and the potential there. So in Myanmar, they've only started publishing daily newspapers since last year, but a lot of people aren't buying those daily newspapers. They're going to social networks, and mainly Facebook. It's Facebook for a lot of Burmese people is the internet. It's where they do their emails, it's where they get their news, and it's where they share all their information.
And presumably this can be potentially a massive growth market.
It's a huge growth market. 5 billion people are still using feature phones. And for a lot of those people, the issue was the price barrier. So a lot of the cheapest smartphones you can get at the moment are maybe around the $50 mark. And that's really cheap. $25 is a feasible sum.
I just want to ask you very quickly, while we've still got you, the $100 laptop, because we tend to focus so much on the top end and the latest gizmos from Apple and Samsung, but actually the clever people have identified that these markets are important as well.
So the $100 laptop, when that was being developed in 2005, the thoughts of having a $100 laptop or computer was unheard of. So that's why it got massive press. The idea was 1 laptop per child in developing countries. It's had a lot of criticism, but it has definitely been given the credit for pushing cheap tablets on the market.
Sam Barry, lovely as always to have you with us. Whether you want to tweet me from a $25 smartphone or the most expensive one in the world, I'm going to be very happy to receive your communication. I'm at BBC Jon Sopel. Do get in touch with what we've been covering. Global will be back in the same place, the same time.